Did you ever wonder why you park on a driveway and drive on a parkway? I don't know, but I do know you can get 50% more math and reading instruction with the Class and a Half program. Watch, because Education Today starts now.
Welcome to Education Today. I'm John Zish with the Armstrong School District. Today we're going to look at a unique concept in scheduling for Armstrong School District students. It's called Class and a Half. It gives 7th and 8th graders an extra 50% more time in math and reading if they need help in those subjects. Our guests today are Armstrong School District's Cheryl Solosky and Larry Robb, the creators of Class and a Half. Welcome to the show. We also have two ardent supporters of Class and a Half who are principals, Rick Burns and Mike Komenos. Later we'll be joined by two teachers. Welcome all. Would you please tell us briefly about yourselves and your roles with Class and a Half? Start with Larry.
My name is Larry Robb. I'm coordinator of K-12 mathematics.
How about you, Mike?
I'm Mike Komenos, the principal at Katanning Middle School.
Okay, very good.
I'm Rick Burns. I'm the principal at West Shamokin High School.
Good morning. I'm Cheryl Solosky, and I'm the coordinator of curriculum and instruction for the Armstrong School District.
Okay. Well, just in a little more detail, Larry, I was wondering if you could please tell me what exactly is Class and a Half and why Armstrong School District's doing it and how it originated.
Hey, basically, Class and a Half is the idea of providing more instructional time for students. We have a tendency to, with students that are struggling, to shrink the curriculum because of the time constraints of a class period. What we've done is extended that class period time without shrinking the curriculum. A couple years ago at West Shamokin, we piloted a program where we brought students in for tutoring 2 to 3 times a week, provide them in additional instruction time, and had tremendous success. So last year we decided to expand that to hit every building in the district. So that's pretty much the origins of how the Class and a Half got started.
Okay. Now what goes on during that extra 50% instruction, Cheryl?
Well, I can speak for the reading class and a half, John, and during that opportunity, the teachers customize the learning pathways or the lessons for students. And they do this using a variety of resources and materials. For example, they have a software program called Plato, and the teacher actually designs the lesson for the student so that when the student goes into the computer lab, there's an actual customized lesson that will provide them with practice in reading skills or a tutorial opportunity for them. We also have some other specific programs called Rewards and Read Naturally, which are direct instruction models that actually try to increase the students' fluency, because we know that if we increase fluency, we will also increase their ability to comprehend. And that's our goal, is increase comprehension, because we obviously don't want students to just be successful in that class and a half environment, but we also want students to be able to transfer those reading and study skills to content area classrooms like science and social studies. So the direct application of reading skills is really our goal.
Okay. So you oversee the reading Class and a Half. Larry, you oversee the math class and a half.
Right. We also use the Plato program where we can individualize, as Cheryl said, learning pathways for each student. The blocks of time that we have 2 to 3 days a week, which come out to be about 84 minutes, also provides teachers time to build a little bit more depth and understanding, do some hands-on activities. We have a couple software programs. One's Geometry Sketchpad that lets that teacher really get into that software program as a demonstration piece for the students that really helps students visualize, especially geometric concepts. So that extra time that we have really lets that classroom teacher expand what they do during the class time.
Now I'd like to give our viewers some perspective on the Class and a Half, starting with how many students are enrolled this first year that we're doing it, and how do they become eligible for Class and a Half?
Okay, every building, we have Class and a Half in every attendance area in grades 7 and 8, have 1 or 2 sections in math and reading in both 7th and 8th grade. They're determined by a number of means. Coming out of 6th grade, we're looking at teacher recommendation, we're looking at classroom grades, we're looking at PSSA scores, we're looking at our benchmark assessments that we do. And with that picture, we're just not using one data point, but that whole picture, we get a profile of the student. and from that we make that decision whether or not they qualify for the class and a half program.
Okay. One thing I was wondering is every student who is eligible enrolled in both the math and the reading? Is that how it works?
Not necessarily. There are some students that, based on the data that we looked at, are eligible for the reading reinforcement in class, and some students are only in for the math. But we also have students that are eligible for both, and so they are scheduled for both reading class and a half as well as the math class and a half.
Okay. Now, one thing I was wondering if our two principals could help us out with a little bit. I imagine that adding an extra 50% instruction for a select group of students creates some scheduling challenges, and I was wondering if you both would please walk us through a typical student day to see how class and a half plays out.
Well, generally we block off three periods a day. The first period, we'll say students would have math class. The second period, the middle period, would be either the math or reading, and the third period would be the opposite of whatever they have the first period. 3 days a week they would have math, and 2 days they would have reading, and then they would flop the following week so that they do get the 50% more instruction time.
Oh, very good.
We do something similar to middle school, but if a student only has math or only has reading, we try to also interlock it with the phys ed classes. We do phys ed 3 days a week here at the middle school, or 2 days a week here at the middle school, and we look to interlock the class and a half inside of that.
Is it necessarily the first period of the day, or is that just?
I do mine second, third, and fourth period.
Okay.
So.
And we have several periods throughout the day: first, second, and third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So we have a few more sections, I believe, than the middle school has.
Excellent. Well, I sure appreciate this overview. I think we gave a nice overview about class and a half, and we're going to take a short break from Armstrong School District's education today. When we return, we'll learn more about class and a half from the teacher perspective.
Hello, I'm Bill Kerr, Superintendent of Schools for the Armstrong School District. The theme for American Education Week, A Strong America Begins with Great Public Schools, continues throughout this school year. I see public education as a great investment, an investment in quality educational programs and services that continues to yield countless benefits to strengthen our schools and communities. We're proud that our students did a commendable job on the 2005 state math and reading assessments. Their work, along with those of their teachers, enabled all schools in the Armstrong School District to make adequate yearly progress under the federal No Child Left Behind Act. Congratulations to all involved. Also, we're grateful for the parents who remain committed to their children's education and are involved every day to help not only their own children, but are involved as parent volunteers in our schools. Thank you for your commitment to improve education. I value the partnership with our parents, teachers, administrators, support staff, school board members, and citizens. By working together for progress, we can collectively lead the Armstrong School District to the next level of achievement in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're back with Armstrong School District's Education Today. We have Rick Burns and Mike Cominos here to talk about class and a half. That's a unique scheduling concept that gives students 50% more time in math and reading if they need help in those subjects. We've also been joined by teachers Patty Burford and Becky Bailey. Delighted to have you both on the show. Thanks for being here. Would you please briefly tell us a little bit about yourselves and your roles with class and a half?
My name is Patty Burford, and I'm a reading specialist, and I have a master's degree in literacy, and I teach students 7th and 8th grade reading and a half at Weshamokin.
Oh, great.
I'm Becky Bailey. I teach 8th grade math and a half here at Katanning. I have a master's degree in applied mathematics.
Okay. Now, what kinds of instruction do you do in that extra 50% of classroom time?
At the beginning of the year, we use Dibbles assessment, which is a reading fluency test.
Okay.
Once we find out their reading rate, then we begin with the rewards program, which is basically a phonics program, and work on multisyllabic words. And from there we go to the CARS program, which helps individualize each student's area of need. And from there we go to the STARS program, which is straight reading strategies. And we generally we work in a Plato system.
That's a computer-based?
It's a computer-based program that we use, usually 1 day a week at Weshamokin.
Okay. How about at Katanning Middle School?
Well, I spend that extra time doing hands-on activities where the students can actually see what they're trying to learn. We use Play-Doh, where I can custom design what each individual student needs to work on. I also use the geometer sketch pad that Larry Robb was talking about earlier. And occasionally I use the Play-Doh up on the new whiteboards we have received so the whole class can do the module together.
Now, a question for our two principals here, Rick and Mike. What has it been like implementing class and a half at both of your schools?
Both our teachers and our students, I believe, have taken it on as a challenge to improve student assessment and to improve student learning. At first, students weren't real happy with the extra 50% in math and reading, but at this point, they're excited about it and they like being in the class. Our teachers take pride in what they do. They've done an excellent job, and we've seen student improvement throughout the class and a half, both in reading and math.
Change is sometimes hard, but I'm glad to hear that they've taken it on and embraced it. How about at the middle school?
I'll agree with Rick. The student improvements there, we're seeing fewer frustration cases where kids start to become discipline problems in the classroom. We're starting to experience those types of successes where students are having that opportunity, a little bit fewer opportunities for homework, more teacher attention. We're seeing a lot of positives out of the program.
Good. And coming out of that, it's been positive. I was wondering if the teachers or maybe principals have an anecdote or a story about a student who has really benefited from the class and a half. Does anyone have a story to share along those lines?
Well, I have one particular student who, at the beginning of the year, didn't want to be a math and a half at all. He was very frustrated. And the latest benchmark test, he scored in the advanced range. So
wow.
he made dramatic improvement there.
That's nice to hear. Any others?
I have a student who originally was all right with being in a program, but the parent had a little concern. But after we had a meeting with the parents and she realized that it had a lot of potential for her daughter, it ended up, we went from basic in 5th grade to advanced in the last benchmark assessment.
That was another question I was going to ask, is what sort of reactions are you getting from students and parents about the program?
I had a lot of parents that were apprehensive to start off with. We had some parent meetings over the summer, took a lot of phone calls. You know, they were thinking their students were being labeled as not being intelligent, as struggling, and just trying to relate to them. It's just another opportunity for your child to succeed. And once they met with the teachers and they found out what exactly they were doing, they felt a little more comfortable with it.
Any stories like that from Weshamokin?
We've had positive reaction once we got the program up and running. Each 9 weeks and each assessment period, we get more and more positive reaction with our parents. When we have parent-teacher conferences, they come in and speak highly of the program, and I believe seeing their son or daughter doing well and progressing and making strides in a positive direction, I think has helped promote the program.
Now, Patty, you mentioned benchmarks, and I was wondering if you would please, or anyone here would please explain a little bit about how the district is measuring the success of students in class and a half. How do we measure whether they're benefiting?
Well, we have a benchmark assessment. We had one in September, and then we had another one in December. From that, we can assess what individual skills that they have improved upon. And basic teacher observations, I actually talk a lot to the other teachers in other content areas so that we can incorporate things that they need to help the students in their classes. And I also use science-based passages in a lot of their reading materials so that will help them build a better understanding for the science curriculum too.
And just for those of us who may not understand, what type of benchmark assessment are you using? That's basically a test of some kind, or
right.
some way to evaluate how a student's doing. But what is it that you use to gauge them?
Well, we're using foresight benchmark assessments where we get data in both reading and math, and we set a baseline, as Patty said, in September. And it's a way that we progress and we monitor progress throughout the school year. So we have used foresight, and we will use it again in May, the beginning of May, to kind of springboard us into next year.
Is that just a series of questions on a pencil and paper, or is that a computer test, or what is it, foresight exactly?
It's paper and pencil.
Okay.
Yeah, there's multiple choice questions, and then there are open-ended response questions at the end.
Very good.
It's very similar to the PSSA in the fact that it's geared toward the assessment anchors, similar to our way our courses are geared. You know, we have our own local standards as far as our planned courses, but of course our planned courses also fall in line with the state academic standards, and these tests are testing exactly those things that they would see on, say, the PSSA.
Okay, appreciate that. And now that we've been going strong with Class and a Half in the Armstrong School District for a good 8 months, is there any, are there any results that we're starting to see as to whether it's making a difference? Can anyone speak to that?
Sure, we're seeing quite a bit of improvement between the classroom grades. I mentioned earlier about student effort in classes. In the 2 benchmark assessments, out of 27 students, as an example, in Math 8, all but 4 students have shown what I would call a significant improvement in all the academic categories that fall underneath mathematics. Same within reading, where like in reading 17 out of 23 of our students showed that they were now reaching proficiency, but we didn't have that same type of number from the first assessment
Very
test.
encouraging.
And as far as West Shamokin goes, each and every student in our Math and a Half and Reading and a Half has shown improvement since the first benchmark back in September. Our 7th grade math, we are now at a 60% proficiency level in Class and a Half, and 73 in 8th grade math. Our reading, we are at 95% 7th grade and 66% in our 8th grade. So we have seen significant growth through that 50% more instruction time.
Well, congratulations definitely to your teachers and students for those improvements. And I was wondering, are we seeing any cases of students who aren't making proficiency after taking Class and a Half, and what can we do to help them?
At the middle school, we have an activity period every Wednesday. Students that still aren't reaching proficiency, and not just in the Class and a Half, but all of our students, we try to provide them with some more activity in the classroom. In addition, we have the after-school tutoring program. And also, if we start seeing specific things, we assign some items in Play-Doh where they're actually able to access them at home and work on improving those skills.
Very good. Anything else from West Shamokin along those lines?
We have adopted anchors throughout the curriculum, and those anchors are geared toward the assessments, and we are using the other areas within our school to reach our students in both math and reading to help us improve our proficiency level.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to share for the viewers about to understand Class and a Half a little more?
I'd just like to say that the students work hard at what they're doing. They put a lot of effort into their work, and not only is it increased reading comprehension, it's also increased self-esteem in reading, because they're actually raising their hands to read aloud, where they didn't do that at the beginning of the year.
Wow.
So, hats off to them for working hard.
Definitely.
Well, we're complimenting the students. I like to put the compliment out to the teachers. If it weren't for the teachers in the classroom teaching something outside of the normal 45-minute period, adjusting the frame of their allotted time to 90 minutes, that's a challenge in itself. So the teachers deserve a lot of the credit as well. I'm sure Rick will agree with me. If it weren't for the teachers, we wouldn't be seeing the success that we're having.
Well, that's our show for today. Mike, Rick, Becky, and Patty, I'd like to thank you all for being on the show. Thanks also to our other guests, Larry Robb and Cheryl Solosky. I'd also like to compliment our 7th and 8th grade students enrolled in Class and a Half for improving their math and reading skills. And we'd be remiss if we didn't give a big thanks to our film crew. Today we had Ford City High School students led by teacher Barb Keller. Way to go, guys. Please join us again next week for another look at the Armstrong School District. Visit our websites for updated news and information about the district. Have a great week.
Hi, I'm Dan Jackson from Ford City High School, and here's what's happening around the Armstrong School District. Armstrong School District invites parents in the community to a free workshop April 19th about updated special education laws and the Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act of 2004. Carol Seward, an educational consultant from the Pennsylvania Department of Education, will present updates about the newly revised law. The workshop's goal is to explain the new rules of the revised law to parents so they will be informed and comfortable participating in the educational decision-making process for their children. Seward will also review the ways that parents can get special educational services for their child, including a review of how need and eligibility are determined. Congratulations to Georgie Shoup, 4th grade from North Buffalo Elementary School, and Chelsea Crivelli, 9th grade from Elderton Junior-Senior High School, for winning the annual recycling calendar contest. Honor mentions also include Randy Sell, 9th grade from Elderton Junior-Senior High School, Jason Burketti, 5th grade from West Hills Elementary School, Meg Toy, 2nd grade from West Hills Elementary School, Chelsea Cessna, 8th grade from Elderton Junior-Senior High School, and Seth Launer, 9th grade from Elderton Junior-Senior High School. Well, that's all for now. I'm Dan Jackson from Ford City High School. Keep watching.
Each fall, something special happens in central Armstrong County. The community of Elderton displays its remarkable colors, revealing not only the rural splendor of its landscape, but the vibrant spirit of its people. On the Cowashannock branch of the Great Shamokin Path, people from the communities of Dayton and Rural Valley come together and flourish like the multicolored foliage of an autumn forest. Further south in Ford City, the majestic waters of the Allegheny River flow timelessly forward, as an industrious town steeped in tradition rediscovers its potential for greatness. And in the county seat of Katanning, Pennsylvania, the autumn winds bring positive change and revitalization to a community with a historic past and a promising future. Throughout central Armstrong County, fall is a season marked by tradition and transition. Like the autumn leaves, students across the Armstrong School District return each year to don the colors that represent their schools and exemplify their own unique heritage and traditions. Individually, each is impressive, but collectively, like a magnificent multicolored autumn collage, they are, together, brilliant. Working together for academic excellence, the Armstrong School District is a public education system serving more than 7,000 students from 30 municipalities throughout central Armstrong County and a small portion of western Indiana County. The district operates with an annual budget of approximately $69 million and is Armstrong County's largest employer, with 775 professional staff and support personnel. The Armstrong School District covers 436 square miles and encompasses 4 attendance areas: Elderton, Ford City, Katanning, and West Shamokin. The district's elementary schools offer a full continuum of educational opportunities and developmental programs for students in grades K through 6. Teachers collaborate on student learning projects with an emphasis on developing strong skills in math, science, technology, and language arts. Reasonable class sizes and a productive, student-centered learning environment are the hallmarks of the district. Morning and afternoon kindergarten options are available in each attendance area. The district's secondary schools offer traditional educational programs with a strong focus on student achievement and preparation for post-secondary education and training. The Armstrong School District, in partnership with its families and communities, graduates educationally prepared, productive, morally responsible individuals. To achieve this mission, the Armstrong School District has developed a comprehensive strategic development plan that will guide the district well into the 21st century. The district's strategic plan provides direction for developing locally adopted academic standards that meet and exceed those at the state or national level. The strategic plan also allows the Armstrong School District to maintain control of operations, policy development, and administrative procedures. In the Armstrong School District today, there's a world of possibilities. A world driven by educational technology, where opportunities for extraordinary learning and achievement are as boundless as the dreams, abilities, and imagination of Armstrong School District students and educators. Access to technology is available in all K-12 classrooms in the Armstrong School District. Students use the internet to become active, independent learners. As a productivity, learning, and communications tool, technology has a positive impact on curriculum and instruction. The district's investment in technology enables greater individualized instruction and extends the boundaries of the traditional classroom. Like any successful school district, the Armstrong School District's greatest asset is its dedicated team of educators. Staff development initiatives allow teachers to take part in continuing professional education and training activities. Many of these training initiatives take place in Armstrong School District's new Professional Development Center, located in the district's administrative offices. The state-of-the-art facility features a total of 16 computer workstations, an interactive whiteboard and plasma monitors for video conferencing and multimedia presentations. New initiatives in the electro-optics industry and the emergence of other high-tech industries are positive indicators of economic development in Armstrong County, which could translate into tremendous opportunities for a new generation of employees. To meet the needs of these burgeoning local industries, the Armstrong School District emphasizes math, science, and technology in its curriculum. District graduates are also empowered with solid problem-solving and critical thinking skills. The Armstrong School District provides career awareness and post-secondary education and training opportunities through ongoing partnerships with the Armstrong Educational Trust, Armstrong Chamber of Commerce, Strongland Chamber of Commerce, and Lenape Tech. Post-secondary educational institutions within commuting distance for district residents include Indiana University of Pennsylvania, Clarion University, Penn State New Kensington campus, Butler Community College, and the many colleges and universities located in the Pittsburgh area. The Armstrong School District, in accordance with Pennsylvania Department of Education Chapter 14 regulations, provides special education services to its students based on physical, sensory, mental, or emotional disability. The district conducts evaluation reports and develops needs-based individualized education programs for each eligible student. IDEA training teams work to implement the best possible programs for district students. Incoming kindergarten students take part in the Successful Kids screening programs in the spring of each year. The screenings provide specific and detailed information in regard to a child's motor, auditory, cognitive, and language areas. Students in need of assistance participate in an extended day kindergarten speech-language program, a Title I initiative where specialists provide targeted support to ASD students in smaller group sessions. Like the leaves of autumn, each of the individual schools within the Armstrong School District is remarkably unique and special. But as one, these schools and the students, educators, and parents who comprise them are together brilliant.